What up, world? Welcome to another episode of Thought Party. I'm on the host Shernville. Got the my big man's Nicholas J in the building. It's good to
Yes,
see you,
sir.
man. It's been a little bit. How you feeling?
Yes, sir, man. I'm good, man. Missed last week, but it was something needed, family things tied up, but everything cool, man. So I feel like I missed a good episode, and I enjoyed the episode. So you did your thing, man. You held it down, man. I appreciate that.
Yo, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that's good to hear, man. Sis, I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you. Appreciate you. But yeah, this week we want to get into Nick's perspective of what I was talking about last week. If you didn't see the episode, definitely check it out. It's online right now. Go to all the streaming services you can find. Look up Thought Party. You'll see that come up pretty quick. But before we jump into that, we got a few black facts we want to drop on you. So
Black
Nick, go
facts,
ahead.
black facts. It's not Black History Month anymore. It's Black History Year, but we giving honor to the women this time, and it's Women's History Month. So we gonna honor the Black women, man. Phyllis Wheatley, she was a former slave who was kidnapped from West Africa. She was bought by a Boston family, I believe, and she became a personal aide. And like they taught her how to read and write, and she went on to be the first female woman to publish a book of poetry. So that's
Mm.
Phyllis Wheatley. Shout out to her. And did you know that the first female firefighter, black female firefighter, was a U.S. enslaved black woman from New
Wow.
York? Her name was Molly Williams. And that's a
Wow.
black fact. That's a black fact.
That's dope. I can't cap, man. I didn't know that.
Yes,
That's
sir,
dope.
man.
That's
So
what's
shout out
up.
to them. Shout out to all the ladies.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Definitely shout out to the ladies, man, holding it down. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So I'm
Exactly.
extremely grateful for them existing, and not just so, um, John, not just for this month. I really want to start celebrating people year long, like you were saying, Black History Year. I think that's
Exactly.
important. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just to recap real quick, man, if y'all didn't catch it, and listen to this right now, what we discussed last week was ultimately was the term black okay to use, and what I was kind of digging into was the fact that we often use the excuse ultimately um, that we are using the N word or using the term black or between versus black and white as a way to take back um like power or something like that. And I had some words to say about that. I don't want to break it all down now. Definitely check out that last episode. But Nick, I want to hear what you guys say about that, man. I feel like that's an important topic.
Um, it's something I think about a lot, but like I never like it's funny to hear from you about it. So it was cool to hear that. But I feel like it's not cool to say. I remember being like having like quote unquote white friends and going to their house for sleepovers, and like I think their parent was like on the phone like, "Hey, what we gonna do about Nick?" And and they was like, "Oh, who which one is that?" And it was like, "That's the black kid." And like I wasn't like tripping, but I kind of was like, it is what it is, man. Like that's
Mm.
just how we've been programmed. The whole world been programmed for so long to just think white and black and everything. That everybody's always say everything ain't white and black, but why they make it like that if it's not? Like I feel like
Right.
you made good points about how they're not German Americans or they're not whatever Americans, and we gotta classify as African Americans. And I think that's messed up. I think like you fill out anything like an application or whatever, they're making you pick one. Like, tell me what you are. You not
Mm.
Hispanic, right? That's the first thing that they ask for real, for real. Like, you not
Yeah.
Hispanic,
Yep.
and it's just like, okay, if you not Hispanic, then what are you? Are you African American? In quotations to say black, and
Yeah.
like that to me, that's just a classification. Like they just putting you in a box. You know what I'm saying? The old myth about the social security numbers and all that. The odd number, black folks got all the odd numbers in the middle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they just classify us all because they want to know. Like they might say you filling out an application, it's a equal employer and all that. But like, why you filling all that out? Like
Right.
you just like you should be able to say, I choose not to tell you what my gender is. You should be able to say, I choose not to tell you what my race is.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen that option on some things, but not everything. So I feel like I don't know.
I
I
seen
think it's
that.
like two sides.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Because they try to pretend like it's not necessary, but that's actually a lie. You have to fill it out eventually. Like you may not have to do it at the front. Like you said, there is a box you on some joints you can click or check that say, I choose not to answer or I prefer not to answer right now. But
Mhm.
you're not getting that job without them knowing who you are. It just
Right.
isn't. It's just not gonna happen. So you're gonna get there. They're gonna have to show them an ID. Of course, you can't get no ID without hiding on that. So you're gonna have to show them an ID. You're gonna have to get them the social. It's like you can temporarily put it off, but it's absolutely required. So
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up because the applications is actually something I seen that on, and I was just like, yo, like why is this? In the Hispanic thing, I always wondered about because I've seen it on there too. I'm like, yo, what the hell do they want to know if I'm
Like, what does
Hispanic
that
for?
mean? Like, why? Like, why? And if like, I don't know. And what do you put if, like, say my granddaddy was Hispanic? What do I put?
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. And then they're gonna be like, oh, so are you illegal? Do you have citizenship? Do you? Da, da? And it's just like, I don't know. Like, that's weird. Like, so I feel for them. I don't know what they have to go through to fill out applications, but shit, I feel like they're more classified. They probably, you know what I'm saying, automatically throw them out. Like, nah, we good.
Yeah. That's what I think too, man. Because what do they do with that early? Like what you
Right.
finna what why does that matter to you at that point in the why does it matter to you, period? But
Yeah.
especially when I'm just filling out the job to let you know, like
And
you wanna know
before
if
you
I'm
fill out
black
the
and
app, they talk about, oh, we an equal employer. We don't discriminate against race, sex, and religion and all this other shit. And it's like, okay, like, but why you need to know if I'm black,
right.
quote unquote black? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the criteria is funny. You bring up religion. It's funny, they don't ask about that. Not that
Yeah,
it
they
it
don't ask about it, but like, still, that's
is I feel like it's just as important as knowing if I'm black or not, knowing what I
I
believe
feel
in.
you. I
You
feel
know what I'm
you.
saying? Like it's that
Yeah.
level of it. It shouldn't matter. So
Hmm.
it's
So
crazy,
if that
man.
don't matter, then it shouldn't matter that if I'm black.
Right,
I
right.
just need a job, bro. Like,
On a side note, man, I'd be hating when you go in there and they be like, "Why do you want this job?" or "Why
oh
why
man,
you
I hate
here?"
that. Like, cause I have a family, bro. I've got bills to pay, bro. Like,
Right? Like what?
I'm trying to live, maintain a living, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you talking about. I think I could be a great asset to this company and all that other bull. Like, man,
Yeah,
dude, you
straight
know
up.
why I'm here, bro. I'm here to get that check.
Right. Yeah, I'd be hating that, bro. I hate that. That whole interview process
Right. That's
gets on my
it
nerves.
sucks.
But I don't want to sidetrack too hard, but I hate that part of it, man. Having to sell yourself.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
they know they need you, right? Or
Hmm.
they wouldn't have the spot open, but they'll make you tap dance in front of them and try to see how quick you can lie and ask them all these dumbass
Right, you
questions.
gonna suck up to them and
Hmm.
compliment them and just be nice and whatever.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Right.
That's back to the professionalism episode, but
Yeah.
we got episodes like that. So binge us if you haven't. Check this out, man. If this your first episode, binge us. We bingeable now. So
Right. Hey, that's true. Yeah, that's real.
I
I
don't know
like it.
how many episodes it got to be for you to be able to binge, but we solidified.
Right.
We
Yeah,
got a
we in
few
there.
of them you can binge.
So what you feel about specifically taking it back to the black culture and black people as a whole? I'm using that term just so we can have this dialogue. What do you feel like when it comes to us using the N word, as far as like us taking it back or feeling like it's ours now or something like that?
I feel like it's a mm, that's tough because like I get why people say you shouldn't use it, and I get why people say I'm using it. Like, what you mean? Like, y'all now the white folks can't use it, or like, you know what I'm saying? I get both because I was brought up listening to music that said it, brought up watching movies that said it, just brought up in a culture that said the N word. You know what I'm saying? And I say it in my music. I say it on the day to day, and I want to get out of the habit of that, but it's just like um having to break yourself from that habit. You gotta kind of replace the word, you know, and I don't know. It's just weird. Like I don't know. It's hard to get away from for me, but like that's just because I understand both sides of it. Why certain people would be like, "Oh, I don't say that," or "Don't call me that," or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it just
Yeah.
depends on the crowd, the person, for real, for real. Because I
Mhm.
can walk up to somebody and just switch the whole thing, be like, "What's up, black man?" And some people don't even like that. Like I walked up to somebody like, "What's up, black man?" He's like, What do you mean by that?"
Mhm.
I'm like, "Oh, okay, what's up, nigga?" And they're, "Oh, what's going on?"
Right. Yeah, that's
All right,
true.
like,
That's
nah,
true.
bro. It's more, I don't know,
That so
more
man,
respect for it or something. I don't
yeah, yeah. I think to me, um, so okay, so a turning point in my mindset, at least get me thinking about it a little bit more, was when you hear people like I think it was Dave Chappelle and Richard Pryor who went to Africa, back to the motherland, and
know.
came and they had the experience there that made them not use the word no more. I think even Paul Mooney, who Richard Pryor, I know you know,
Hmm.
Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney was like that was they shit, bro. Like that was literally what kind of separated them because everybody was trying to be like at the time Cosby was coming up, and you know how kind of family friendly he is. Even his stand up stuff wasn't too far on the other end of that. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
Richard Pryor, who pretty much made that word famous, especially in the comedic realm, went to Africa somewhere in there. I hate to call it Africa. I can't stand when people do that because that's a whole big ass continent. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Africa. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that for the just because I don't know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, he went somewhere in Africa, talked to people, and they had a conversation about who do you see that's a nigga here, and they didn't have no answer. So then he came back and it was like I'm not using the word no more. And I was like, wow, like so there is a certain rooted respect, I think, for the individual. And I think we don't necessarily use it because I'm trying to be demeaning. Like if I call you, hey, Nick, that's my nigga. Like it's not like I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, I don't disrespect you when I say it. You can say it disrespectfully, but it's definitely more of like a camaraderie thing.
Hmm.
But I think people don't fully understand the root of why they say certain things. And that's kind of what brought the question up. It's like I think we
Right.
just get kind of programmed, like the term black, going back to that. I think we just get kind of programmed into constantly just saying what's been given to us without actually knowing what's going on. So that's what kind of made me think about like, yo, like, is this right? Is it wrong? Like, why is the person that's, I shouldn't say the most famous, I don't know if that's right to say, but definitely has that word synonymous with their fame,
Hmm.
deciding to just completely just drop it whatsoever. And
Hmm.
that was really impactful to me when I heard him kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like it's one and the same. Like like you said, it's the program. So like we program to think being called black is okay, or being black and being black power and all this is okay, and saying nigga is okay, or calling you my nigga, but not knowing the whole root to being black is like the absent of light, like darkness, all that. You know what I'm saying? Just ridiculous stuff that shouldn't be referred to as black because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not black. Like you were saying, my shirt black, bro. You know what I'm saying? This microphone is black. My headphones is black. My hat is black. So like if I was black, quote unquote, then you wouldn't be able to see none of that. You would just be like, oh, okay. But like, I don't know, like that's just like they just programmed us to be like, okay, to be okay with black and to be okay with the word nigga.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get away from if you just, I mean, I don't want to have to. I mean, I would love to go to Africa, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't want that to be the reason why I stopped saying that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we should all just be like, kind of take a step back and be like, that's not the coolest word to say.
Yeah. I think you're right, and I think that we need to definitely self-assess. I think, at least in my opinion, I feel like we get kind of, I don't know how to say it without sounding like I'm too disrespectful, but we do get kind of cocky when we got a word to ourselves or we got some shit that can't nobody else say to some extent, and we kind of garden it. So that's kind of that in and of itself is like we're I don't know how to say it, but we almost like wanting to guard and protect that to make sure that we have something to have exclusively because everything else has been taken. But I think that we just need to find a reason why we are saying it, at least in my opinion. And if it's not nothing that you either know about or if you do know about, um, and like I guess if there's something that whatever, then in that case, you can't really. I mean, you can't go around controlling people. And if someone called me that and was trying to just be like camaraderie or something like that, I wouldn't trip. I don't know how to necessarily. I guess that's a question that we can discuss because I don't know how to handle that. If someone came to me and was like, "Yo, what up, nigga?" and I'm like, "What does that mean? What do you mean? Do you know what
Right.
that means? What do you know what I'm saying? What do you feel like if someone approached you in that way? Like, how do you handle that if you coming from a place of trying to distance yourself from that term?"
Um, I don't know, man. It's tough. Like just try to focus on what you're trying to do. Like you trying to get out of a habit. I use this example. One of my homeboys, man, Drew, he trying to get out of saying that. Like he be in the group chat, like Nobles is the new nigga. Like this is what we saying now.
Mm,
We ain't saying that. But like, you know what I'm saying? He'll say like, dog, it's so easy to go right back into being like, oh my nigga, but you know what I'm saying? If I say it and you say it and we saying it back and forth and we just constantly saying it, it just turns into that like somebody will catch on. Maybe your son will say that, or maybe your daughter will be like, oh, okay, and or whoever's around, because like whatever you around, you kind of just pick up on, like just regardless, like
yeah,
so. It's
yeah,
just
you're
into
right.
that. So shout out to Drew, man, for that noble,
Yeah,
my noble.
that's clean. I was actually about to commend him on that because that's dope. Like having because a good way to get rid of something is to replace it with something else instead of
Right.
just stopping.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought about because when I was okay, I don't want to split too many points, but I love Noble. That's definitely dope. One thing I miss, man, is when I watch old movies or even just certain old clips and I hear people calling each other brother and sister, bro.
Right.
Like
I do that
that,
from time to time. I do that a lot actually. Like
yeah.
whenever I see a black man, it's harder to say to the ladies because they be kind of like what, but like
Mm,
the guys too, but they a little more easier to just be like, what's up, brother? They like, oh, what's going on? Like,
right.
oh, they whatever. Like they kind of do take it like you pro black or you super woke type thing, yeah. But like it's
Mm,
like okay, but like saying that to I would love to say that to the ladies, but like I just feel like they take that super weird. Like anytime I said it, they kind of like, "What you mean? Like, what is that?"
man.
And you sitting there breaking that down to them. It's like, "Oh, what's up, sister?
Yeah.
A queen, something like that. Queen, you can get off, but they kind of think you hitting on them if you do that. So
Yeah, man, that's a shame. That's a
it's
shame.
tough.
Yeah. Because what's crazy is that this conversation can take place as well with the word bitches. Like if that's my bitch or our bitches or I've heard people talk just synonymous with men and women saying
Hmm.
niggas and bitches.
Right.
Like what I'm saying? It's like it's crazy, but then like you call them sister and they're like what? And that's like yo, like how deep is this shit, bro? Like I mean, it's really into us. It's intertwining it's intertwining on a way that I just have never experienced, even to ourselves, bro. Like if it was someone else saying that and we just
Hmm.
constantly having to deal with it, that's one thing. But it's like when we do it ourselves, bro, I consider it another form of slavery to some extent, not just mental slavery, but the act of working for them. It
Hmm.
just adjusted from actually from fields to identity. We're doing the work for them, calling each other niggas and calling them bitches and can't be sisters, can't be brothers, can't be queens, can't be kings. And it's like, bro, like I think I really wish that, and it goes back to what you were saying about Black History, bro. I really wish that we had a way to be taught who we are and where we came from without sounding super woke and super like whatever you because I know what you're talking about too when you said
Yeah.
sounding
Yeah.
super woke. I think a lot of people kind of it just sounds odd when everybody ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because you start talking about some stuff that you just got put onto, and then you just like, oh yeah, I don't do that. I don't subscribe to that no more. I don't say the N word no more. I say this. I say, I'm like, they just looking at you like, oh okay, you on something else, bro. Like whatever. But they ain't really trying to hear it, or they think you a conspiracy theorist, or what I'm saying, you believe in some other thing. But like at the end of the day, honestly, everything was made up. So like it's made up to control us. It's made up to confine us, put us into the box, whatever it is. But like, I feel like there's an out to that box. You can get out your box, and you got to do the knowledge to do that. I mean, it's a shame that we got to do the knowledge, but I mean, it is what it is. They ain't gonna teach us in school. They're not teaching us in school right now. Hopefully that'll change, puts forth some efforts to change that. But like, as far as right now, we got to do our own knowledge. I'm 30 years old and still learning stuff every day. Like, what I'm saying, that I didn't know about our ancestors.
Yeah, bro. I think a pretty solid, at least for me. You know how I like to bring up solutions.
Mhm.
Just a thought comes to mind is that I think that we need to get rid of the um, or not necessarily get rid of. That's not a good way to put that, but definitely quit promoting the people who use that on a regular basis. And what comes to mind immediately is like rap artists. Um, and more importantly than that word, although that is definitely what we're talking about, more importantly than that word is the violence. I think that I hear a lot in the music. Still, I think that we let rappers get away with it because it's entertainment. But in actuality, them talking about killing everybody because of disrespect or whatever, it's definitely against what we've been trying to fight with the whole Black Lives Matter and shit like that. I think that we kind of come away to where we can discuss shit now. I think we are at a place where we can start talking instead of you do something to me and if I to me if I buy an album or stream it or listen to it, whatever, and an artist talking about doing something to somebody because of whatever, like some violent shit, I feel like me listening to that music is definitely promoting them having what they need, doing my part and letting them have that platform to to
Mhm.
to speak that way. And rap music, I mean, let's just be real, bro. Rap music is extremely influential, and it always has been, as far as I can remember. Which is why I think it's a dope tool for if you were on the like evil side, quote unquote. If you're trying to manipulate something like that, like you go straight to the music because that's why I think we can get into black businesses and all this other shit, but that's why I feel like Gucci is popping. All these other shits, like Gucci is. We talk about do black business, then I see people in Gucci this, Gucci that. And it's like Gucci is Italian, and that's somebody's name, bro. Like that's literally someone's name that everybody got on their clothes. Like people think it's just a name. Like, nah, that's that man's last name. It's and it goes back to we kind of just contradict ourselves, I think, and that's why nothing grows because we're always wanting to do certain stuff. And we know that we're knowledgeable enough to know that certain things ain't right, but then our actions halt that or at least stall it to the advancement of whatever that is.
Mhm.
And that's at least what I feel. Unless you feel I'm incorrect, like I'd be willing to discuss that too. I just don't feel like there's consistency with our words or at least our mindset that we're developing, especially now, and what we allow people to get away with.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem, or part of the problem too. But like, it's part of the plan for them to like have us like, oh yeah, you might be woke for 2 days, but like you'll be right back on Instagram scrolling for 40 hours,
Mhm.
or you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
just like you have to like with anything, you got to practice habits. You got to get out of bad habits. It take like 21 days or some shit like that to like get used to doing something. So you do something 20 for 21 days. If you go out and shoot left-handed, you right-handed, but you shoot left-handed, 21 days, you'll be icy by the time day 22. You know, um, with anything. So that's like you can do that within whatever it is. Wake up every day. Don't say nigga, say noble. 21 days. Don't say black. Don't say what, like I don't even know what the like. classify the nationality as, because how we all know we from Africa just because we black, like that don't necessarily mean we from Africa.
Mm.
But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole
Yeah,
nother deep thing to think about. But
I hear you.
I mean, I just feel like it's a part of this plan. It's a part, but the part of the solution will be to just get used to the change, get used to not being in the norm, get used to unlearning and learning something, and uh, or unlearning and relearning something like this. Just being, you know, just learning something new and all that other shit that didn't mean nothing that you learned. Just forget all that. Just it's not super duper necessary for to know all the fake stories for real, for real. I mean, you can't never know what you really gonna end up on, but like just try to do research, try to back up that research, make sure it's factual, make sure it's black facts.
Right. Hey man, bro. That's real. I think that research is key. And we keep I think it's a little bit outside of the norm to want to just sit down and research stuff. A lot of people jammed up in work, and your job wants your best hours. So they got you working from 8 to 5 or whatever you work, and that's just a big ass chunk of the day. That's a lot of when you look at the just how the work structure is, 40 hours a week is just so much time.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard, but definitely, man, I definitely do Nick saying, because I think that 100% is possible. If you always posting on IG, take a minute to not post something one day and then start looking up somewhere. You ain't got to look it up all at once. Maybe just grab like a larger article and kind of break it up into pieces as far as when you do it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Anything. Don't look for ways to not do it. Look for ways to do it. Because I know sometimes you're, well, I got this going on, da, da, da. And I used to be one of them kind of people too. But somebody told me something one day, man, that's been helping me a lot. And they said, make it happen or make excuses. And when you filter something into one of those two boxes, I know sometimes you're like, well, everything ain't cut and dry. But if you intentionally try to put something, and I'm not always perfect. I'm not saying that just because I know I got it all figured out, but definitely take the time to try instead of, trying to think you're too busy. Everyone's too busy. Everyone's too busy. Everyone's too busy. But look at what you're busy with and prioritize what's important, especially if you got kids. Like that should be, the most important thing, at least in my opinion. So, man, I'm glad you spoke on this, man. You brought up some really good points, straight up.
Yeah, facts. I had to get in on this conversation and listen to that first part one. I was like, man, I'm sorry I missed that one, man. You was talking some good shit on there, so I'm glad we got to discuss this one on one. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm gonna get this posted up, get it chopped up, get it sent to y'all. So let us know what you think. Do y'all think the term is right? You think the term is wrong? What are some solutions to the problem that you see? Is it a problem at all? Does it need solutions? Let us know. I think what is it? It's thought underscore party on Twitter, and the underscore thought underscore party on IG. You catch us on there. Shout out to Fly, my homeboy Warren Fly Def is doing
Yes,
his work.
sir. Oh yeah, almost
Yeah,
forgot about that. We sponsored the boy for the show on the
yeah,
16th. Man, it's going down, man. Reality of wrestling. That fly brother Warren J. That's my real brother too. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to Reality of Wrestling, man.
yeah, absolutely. He's doing his thing, man. It's
Yes,
dope to
sir, man.
see. It's dope to
It
see,
is
straight up.
dope, man. It is dope, man. He always loved wrestling, so to see him living out his dream, man, that's so surreal, man. I love seeing it.
That's what's up. All right, yeah. So catch me on everything Shermville. You know the drill. You can find me anywhere, whatever. Actually, I got the stream Tuesday and Thursday. We got this joint coming up Wednesday. We got the no fiction joint Fridays. So yeah, look us up. We'll be there.
That
We'll be wherever you find us at.
that was just a bar, bro. You got to put that the everything Shermville. You know the drill. Like
I like
that's a bar. Yes,
I
sir.
like
Follow me, Nicholas Ruler, on Instagram, man. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Thought Party Pod. Binge us if you ain't listened to other episodes. Binge us, binge us, binge us.
yes, absolutely.
Peace.
Peace out, man. Take care.